What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, place to be chill, train Mr. A&D, back with another Raw review for July 27, 2020. As we're getting closer and closer to SummerSlam, we're starting to reveal more of the picture tonight. We have a triple threat match for tag team matches, figure out who's going against the Street Profits. And then we start off the night with Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes out, not talking about Edge, not talking about the Big Show, but he's talking about, that he's going by many names. Apex Predator, the Viper, the Legend Killer, which is my favorite. And he says, it hit me like a ton of bricks this morning. I'm trying to figure out what's missing. It's the WWE Championship. I want the championship. I've been part of the most legendary groups that have ever been in WWE when it comes to legacy. Next shout out to Cody and Ted, by the way. And then also Evolution. I'm not putting the Authority in there. They did nothing legendary about the Authority. But I get where he's coming from. So he said, I got to bring Drew McIntyre into the conversation. So he wants to face Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, which the rumors happen to be true, that we're going to have Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre for the championship at SummerSlam. And he says, look, The Rock and Austin, they were great, but they can't hold a candle to my achievements. So he wants to be 14-time champion. They haven't had the champions as long as Randy did, as many times as Randy did. And to be honest with you, if you look back at it, he ain't lying. So that's where we go off, and then as he's going to the back, Nia Jax comes out. She gets on the mic and she's just like, look, she won the Raw Women's Championship, and because she was screwed out of it by a referee last time, so she feels as though that Sasha Banks got her opportunity. It's getting an opportunity tonight, but I want Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. But Shayna Baszler comes out, gets right into her face and says, look, nobody cares what you think. What she should have said was, you thought you could when you threw me in that wall, Money in the Bank, or whatever the case may be. So Nia Jax gives her a forearm, and they start like scrapping. She knocks Shayna Baszler outside the ring. They start going back and forth. They start fighting, and they had to bring out everybody to break them to apart, because we're gonna have a match with them later. Street Profits come out, and we're kicking things Raw off finally with the matchup when it comes to the triple threat tag team matchup. The winner's going to face the Street Profits at SummerSlam. We got Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. Then we got Andrade and Angel Garza. Then we got the Viking Raiders. I'm telling you right now, great matchup by all three of these teams. It's kind of like how the Fatal 4-Way was on SmackDown, just chaos everywhere, and everything probably just worked well. Everybody worked well here together also, along with the Street Profits being on commentary. They had the simple tags, obviously, but the match started breaking down towards the end of it. Then we got Hanson goes on top rope to take out all members of the Viking Raiders and of Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, who that was my pick to win the matchup in the first place. Then Andrade gets Cedric up, throws him in the ring, and then Angel Garza hits the wing clipper on Cedric Alexander and pins him. And now Angel Garza and Andrade are going against the Street Profits at SummerSlam for the Raw Tag Team Championships. I don't mind this matchup. It would have been a good matchup, but I'm mad that I seen it last week already. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have been a good match between these two teams, as you could have helped build up Andrade and Angel Garza. But we just seen the match last week, and I'm like, okay. Honestly, I want to see Street Profits go up against Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. I have never seen those two teams interact before. I've seen the Street Profits go against the Viking Raiders. I've seen Street Profits go up against Angel Garza and Andrade. That's why I'm like, well, I haven't seen them go up against Ricochet or Cedric Alexander. I don't know what the plan is for them. I don't know if they're still trying to do this New Nation thing, which they shouldn't, because Ron Simmons was on Raw last week. Then we see Mark Henry on Raw this week, backstage talking to Ruby Riott and Bianca Belair, and he was also talking to Drew McIntyre. Now, obviously, you're not gonna get Drew McIntyre join no Nation, and you're not gonna probably. I don't know if you're trying to Ruby Riott and join a Nation either. So I guess they're just showing them back there talking. I don't know if it's gonna be a little bit anything from it, but I was really pulling for Ricochet and Cedric Alexander to win this matchup. Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler was up next, but the match goes nowhere because these two women start fighting on the outside, and they both get double counted out, and then they had to get all these referees in there to try to break them up. Nia Jax keeps tossing guys into Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler chokes out one guy. Nia Jax takes off the shirt of one guy, and his head gets stuck in the shirt. I'm just like, okay, it's okay. I see this being a SummerSlam match coming too. Nice Regis Philbin tribute. I talked about that also on the No Gimmick Scene of Wrestling podcast, so make sure you guys check that out. It's up there now. The clips will be up tomorrow or today, along with the Raw review as well. We get a segment with Seth Rollins talking about the usual stuff about Rey Mysterio, stuff like that. Then Dominic comes out, They take out Dominic, but then Aleister Black comes out to fight with him. But then they beat down Aleister Black again because Vince clearly doesn't care about Aleister Black. So we beat down Aleister Black again, and then Seth Rollins like, "Are you in this or not?" Talking to Murphy. So he's like, they want Murphy to do the honors and put Aleister Black's eye in them steel steps. So at first he's reluctant. Seth slaps him. And then he's like, okay, so he goes and he starts pushing it and pushing that eye right into it, and like, and it hurts Aleister Black. He pulls them all before he pops it out. We get another prosthetic like we did for Rey Mysterio, and he's just rolling around. Murphy just looks like he's seen a ghost. It's like, oh my God, what did I actually do? But he takes him back, and then but Dominic is not done yet. He gets a kendo stick and starts beating down Murphy with the kendo stick and Seth Rollins before they retreat. So it looks like we may get a the match I thought was gonna happen at Extreme Rules is probably gonna happen at SummerSlam. Dominic versus Seth Rollins. I really wanted that to be Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio's out. So I don't know how good of a match Dominic can do, but I think that's maybe where they're going to be going for SummerSlam. It's time for the MVP Lounge with Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley of the Hurt Business. And then they talked about that last week we had a return. Mustafa Ali came back to help out his friends Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. He's going to be a guest on the show. The same guy that very pinned MVP. Well, now he comes to the show. He says, look, I don't know how you brainwash these two meatheads or anything like that, but I have no plans on joining the Hurt Business or doing anything that you're doing. And he says, hold on now, man, calm down. You making a mistake. You sound like Apollo right now. And then, but he says, you know what? That's funny because as soon as he's about to talk, R-Truth comes out of nowhere, tackles Shelton Benjamin, and tries to pin him on the outside of the ring. Remember, Shelton Benjamin is still the 24/7 champion, so he has to defend that belt 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So he kicks out, and R-Truth retreats after last year MVP trying to jump him. Because up next we got Bobby Lashley taking on Mustafa Ali in his return. So Bobby Lashley once again looks strong in this matchup. Mustafa Ali is just getting beat down mostly for the most part of it. I mean, he has a little bit of offense in there. He tries to go for the 450, rolls out of it as Lashley moves out the way, and then Lashley catches him in the full Nelson, and then it looks like he taps at the one point, but he does end up tapping out, and then Bobby Lashley wins the matchup. So the Mustafa Ali happens. When you push him up, he came back, it was hot. He got the most views on. He got more views on his video on YouTube from WWE's page than WWE had viewers on Raw. Period. And I'm like, maybe you could give him some heat, but then Bobby Lashley wins the matchup, and then after that, or during the matchup, Akira Tozawa tries to roll up Shelton Benjamin. Then he kicks Akira Tozawa, throws him to the barricade. Then the other ninjas come out, MVP kicks them, and Bobby Lashley takes one ninja and just literally launches him on the ring post, and he just twirls around in a circle. I'm just like, yikes! But that was entertaining. Well, Humberto Carrillo is obviously pissed about what happened earlier, so he has a match with Buddy Murphy, and he tries to text Buddy Murphy. Murphy doesn't even get his shirt off, so throughout the whole match, Murphy's wrestling with his entrance gear on the whole time. But Humberto comes off the top rope. Murphy gives him a knee, and then gives him the no laughing man. That's not Hugh Morris. I'm sorry. Gives him the best kept secret. That's what it's called. What is his finishing move called? But He gives him the finishing move, and then he beats Humberto and takes his shirt off. I was like, okay, because there's no way I believe that Humberto Carrillo was winning, period. So then we get a video package about what happened last week with the whole belt thing of the Women's Championship. But now we're about to get it. Sasha Banks taking on Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. No role model, no Kairi Sane, because Kairi Sane's out there. She goes up face to face with Bayley and chases her all the way to the back. So now the match is going on. Great matchup by these two. They got good chemistry, good back and forth action. He gives Asuka, gives Sasha Banks knees, and then Sasha Banks the reversals, and then Sasha Banks hurts her ankle. Asuka's been working on the ankle, doing the ankle lock, and then Banks has been putting her in the Banks a couple of times. She tries to do a little Eddie Guerrero move and throws a tag team championship in there, and then goes to try to hit Asuka with the women's belt, but tosses at her and act like she hit her. The referee's like, "Look, you tossed it right in front of me. Like, I'm not buying that shit." So you need to work on your Eddie a little bit more, Sasha. On the screen, we see Bayley beating down Kairi Sane. So as Asuka's about to put the Asuka lock on Sasha Banks, she's debating: do I go save Kairi Sane or do I put it on Sasha Banks with a championship? But then she keeps banging her head onto this metal ramp that you close the block off the garages with. And then she like screams like Asuka, and then she like bangs the back. So Asuka runs to the back. When she gets back there, Kairi is unresponsive. She's like done. And then Bayley runs to the back out of count out because Stephanie McMahon said after a count of 10, if you get counted out or disqualified, the championship will change hands. Sasha Banks is the new Raw Women's Champion. The Golden Role Models have all the gold in WWE right now when it comes to the women's division. And I kind of called it. I think, I didn't think the Asuka, the Bayley, and Sasha ain't going to be at SummerSlam. They're going to rush that. This is a slow burn story. That they want a crowd for that. I don't know if there's going to be a crowd by WrestleMania time, but it may be something. Okay, better than the Performance Center. Okay, we don't know just yet, but it don't hurt to try to build towards that opposed to try to rush it now at SummerSlam. So I ain't mad at that, but Asuka's coming back to get her belt back at SummerSlam. We're going to see how they're going to play that out. Drew McIntyre comes out to get ready for his match with Dolph Ziggler. And he, first of all, before he does that, he accepts a challenge from Randy Orton. He said, please underestimate me. Please underestimate Drew McIntyre. And he was like, because that's what happened to Brock Lesnar, and I beat him in 5 minutes. So he's all amped up now on the Dolph Ziggler. And the Dolph Ziggler comes out and says, yeah, look, let's just get on with the stipulation. And so I thought, even though I'm a huge Dolph Ziggler fan, I'm like, it gotta be lose or leave Raw, right? Ziggler, you make it a fool of yourself. It gotta be lose or leave. You can never challenge again. Go back to SmackDown. This could be an open to go to NXT for Dolph Ziggler. And it not being for the championship, what is even the point of doing this rematch in the first place? If it's not for the championship, what's the point of doing this match in the first place? I figured you could have cut the Randy Orton promo at the beginning, have at the end of the night, which I will get to, and then that could be a better way to set it up, and then you could have the promo next week, because that way Dolph could have been still challenging for the championship. What's the purpose of having a rematch that you felt so close that you could have won if it's not for the championship? God. Okay, so Drew's like, well, you use Extreme Rules on me, but this time I get to do it too. So it's an Extreme Rules match. That's all it is. So this time it's just Drew beating the shit out of Dolph Ziggler. He just hits him with chairs, hits him with candlesticks, chokes him in the mouth with a candlestick, pulls out a table, spears him through the barricade, sets the table up in the corner. Dolph Ziggler tries to fight back, gives him a zigzag. Ain't nothing really close. Claymore through the table in the corner. It's done. Ziggler's done. Drew McIntyre wins the matchup, and then I said, and action.
It's Randy Orton with an RKO.
RKO out of nowhere by Randy Orton. I called it. He holds the championship up. This is what I was talking about. He could have did that at the end of the show, and then you could have got the promo we got at the beginning of this episode for next week's Raw, saying I won a match at SummerSlam, because having Ziggler have this rematch that he was so passionate about, he wanted, and having McIntyre pick the stipulation for not for the championship at all, makes absolutely no sense at all, to be honest with you. So, but that was Raw, guys. I liked some elements of it. I liked the Sasha Asuka. They always did good work. The Triple Threat Tag Team match was good. The brawl between Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler was actually pretty dope too. So I don't know if SummerSlam's gonna be 2 nights like WrestleMania was, but I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I mean, it's right now NXT is on that Saturday, and so so they probably just gonna have a regular show for SummerSlam. And you need to put the Hall of Fame on that Friday though. So I'll give Raw a slight pass tonight. It didn't bother me too much, but you can post in the comments down below how you guys feel about Raw. Post in the comments down below. Hit the like button, that really supports the video. Hit the subscribe button to this new channel right here on Nerd Coalition. So once again, this is NCN Place to Be. Chill, Mr. A&E, and the wrong video. The Nerd Coalition is out.